Good morning. It is Friday, August 5th, 2011. It's the 5th, and this is take 5. We are in Mark chapter 4. We are in verse 35. On that day, when evening had come, he said to them, "Let us go across to the other side." And leaving the crowd, they took him with them in the boat, just as he was, and other boats were with him. And a great windstorm arose, and the waves were breaking into the boat, so that the boat was already filling. But he was in the stern, asleep on the cushion. And they woke him and said to him, "Teacher, do you not care that we are perishing?" And he awoke and rebuked the wind and said to the sea, "Peace, be still." And the wind ceased, and there was a great calm. He said to them, "Why are you so afraid? Have you still no faith?" And they were filled with great fear and said to one another, "Who then is this, that even the wind and the sea obey him?" All right, I tell you what. This is the Morning Express. This is the headline news. Not what you've maybe already seen or heard this morning. You know, I don't even hardly watch the news or listen to the news, but I do have Yahoo as my homepage, and yesterday I saw in there that the stock market had taken its biggest tumble in a long, long time. I know there's all kind of issues about the national debt, and it's just bad news. And in your own personal life, perhaps it's bad news. Maybe there's bad health news, bad relational news, bad financial news. Well, I got some good news for you. Jesus is in control. God is in control. And so you see Jesus and the disciples in the middle of a storm. And perhaps you're in the middle of a storm. But what do we see Jesus doing? Very interesting here. He's asleep. He's sleeping like a baby on a cushion in a boat. The boat's doing like this. The waves are pouring into the boat. Water's filling up. He's probably getting a little bit wet. But he's why? Because he knows everything's going to be all right. That doesn't worry him. He will come to some more agonizing times later in his life when he's facing the cross. But some wind and some waves, that doesn't worry him. You know, we've got friends. I've got friends right now in Haiti. And I know there's a hurricane bearing down on Haiti. God's in control of that. And maybe you say, well, yeah, but I've seen really bad things happen. Well, bad things do happen. And if you're saved and the ultimate bad thing happens and you die, you go to heaven. Jesus says, don't be afraid. He's in control of your life. Let him be. All right? You know when the storms get worse? When you start trying to deal with them on your own. Now, I'm going to give the disciples a little credit here. They were afraid. They shouldn't have been afraid. But at least when they were afraid, they went to Jesus. So, you shouldn't be afraid either. But if you do get afraid, do what they did. Learn from them. They actually did something kind of right this time. Go to Jesus. They woke him up. He said, "Oh my goodness." And he had to, wipe the sleep out of his eyes. And he just said, "Wind and waves, stop it." And they did. And if he wants to stop the wind and waves in your life, he will do that. And if he wants to allow them to continue and allow you to build the faith and the confidence in him to deal with those things, He'll allow them to keep coming. There's a great song. Sometimes He calms the storm. Other times He calms His child. So he may take some of those storms away, and He may just give you the strength to endure them. And I've seen both in my life, mostly the latter. How about you? Hey, God's still God. He's still on the throne. Everything else that's happening around us, just sleep right on through it. Everything's going to be okay. Come back tomorrow for the next edition of Take 5.